Hey, my beautiful people. Good afternoon and marvelous, marvelous Monday. I pray that this message finds y'all well, healthy, in great spirits, and that your week is off to a wonderful start thus far. Know that I'm thinking about you and praying for you. What have you done for you today? Did you get it done over? Have you been doing it consistently? Have you been making time for yourself? Have you been, look, I'm out here trying to soak up all the sun I can, grounding in my yard, and the sun is going down. Ooh, it was shining today, so I'm grateful for that. I'm definitely grateful for the shine, always. And I try to have my skin out and soak up every bit that I can. Because Lord knows, I love the sunshine. And look, the sunshine loves me. Look, and I accept and I receive every bit of it, every bit of God shining on me. I'm always accepting and receiving it. But what have you done? Have you been making you a priority? Have you been getting it done? Have you been loving on yourself? Have you been being good to you? Have you been kind to yourself? Have you been gentle with yourself? Have you been being good to yourself? Have you been doing stuff that excites and ignites you? Have you been doing something that puts a smile on your face, some joy in your heart, some pep in your step, and something that makes you feel good? I pray that you have, because you're more than worthy and deserving. This day. You know, your girl's over here. Look, I'm still loving on me. Look, I am my priority, baby. Look, I am a non-negotiable for me, baby. And I am over here loving on myself like no other time in my life. And look, pouring every bit that I can into myself. And I don't apologize for it. And we'll never apologize for it, like I said, because at the end of the day, if I'm not loving on me, if I'm not good to me, if I'm not doing for me, if I'm not putting on a smile on my face, if I'm not happy with myself and my company and in this solo state and living life fully and unapologetically, if I'm not doing that for myself, I sure can't expect or even think or guarantee that somebody else is going to do that for me. Not the ones that we think, not the ones that you expect and show in the hell, not the ones that even promise to. Okay, so make sure that, and look, I can speak on that because that is the story of my life, or part of it. There's been so much that has gone on and happened to me in my life, and look, I've accepted, I've addressed, I'm honest, I'm open, and I'm transparent about every bit of it, because at one point in time I used to feel so much shame and guilt and identify myself by it, and yet like that was my identity. I wore it like a second skin, you know, and yet it's not who I am. It made me who I am, but it's not the sum total of who I am. And I am sure aware of my magnificence and my greatness and who I am in God and who God intends me to be in this world. And I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to stay loving on me fully, completely, and unapologetically, doing it my way, having it my way. I'm like Usher, my way. Ooh, like I say, I'm going to do it my way, have it my way, be how I want to be, do what I want to do what excites and ignites me, do what makes me feel good at any given moment. I'm going to do what is in, like I say, vibrational resonance to what makes me feel good and what is the best choice in that moment for my highest good, for my happiness, my satisfaction, my pleasure, my fulfillment, my, like I say, just what I want for myself. I have to consider me in all aspects and all areas of life. And trust me, baby, ooh, I'm loving me. And love and honor, valuing and respecting myself in a way that I never have. And I pray that you guys are doing the same things for yourself, because you are more than worthy and more than deserving. And I just wanted to check in to let you know that I'm thinking about you, that I'm praying for you. If nobody told you that they love you today, I love you. You know, if nobody gives you permission to be the magnificence and the greatness, or to do what you want to do, or the things that you desire for yourself, I give you permission to do it. Even if you don't give yourself permission, say, Eleanor gave me permission, because I give you permission. I honor you. I validate you. I see you. And I know that you are more than worthy to have the things that you want, the desires of your heart, your dreams, your aspirations, your goals, the things, your gifts, your God-given gifts and talents and skills and abilities. You're more than worthy to have those things, live in those things, enjoy those things. And because that's who you are, that's who God made you to be. We are uniquely individual. We are one of one. And in life, life does a number on us. And, family labels, societal labels, school, friends, groups, and ultimately the stories that are told to you, the stories that we ultimately tell ourselves, is how we define ourselves and the way that we treat ourselves. And then that's the identity that we carry for ourselves. And a lot of the times, the way we feel and the identity that we respond to and answer to is not one of which comes from us, not one which comes from God. It's usually from external sources. Not feeling worthy, not feeling enough, the shame, the guilt of situations or circumstances or traumas experienced. The having to feel like you have to sacrifice yourself in order to be worthy of, or to receive love, or to be considered, in order feeling that you have to be of service and give of yourself at the expense of yourself in order to be of service and to have value and purpose out here. And I want to tell you that, hello, how you doing? I want to tell you that is not at all the case. Yes, we are meant to love. We are meant to give. We are meant to show up. We are meant to support. We are meant to be love and kindness and care and compassion and so many other things. However, we are not meant to do it at the expense of ourselves and to leave ourselves at a deficit. We are not meant to love others more than we love ourselves. Because even in my life, there were situations and things that I had done, provided, showed up for, and have done and given to people that I never gave to myself. You know what I'm saying? And when it came to me, there was always an excuse, a justification, or a push off, or I'll do it later, or maybe I'll save up for it, or maybe next time, or this or that. No more, baby. No more. If I want to do it, I'm going to do it. If I want to experience it, I'm going to experience it. If I want to have it, I'm going to get it. If I want to taste it, I'm going to eat it. If I want to drink it, I'm going to take a sip. If I want to see what it feels like, I'm going to do that thing. If I want to have that experience and that moment and that joy, and that's that for myself, I'm giving myself permission to do that. I am giving myself permission to be fully and completely myself at any given moment, at any given time. No fakes, no fronts, no pretenses. I don't wear any masks. I'm 100% authentically who I am at all times. And that is something that I've had to come to learn to heal. That is something that I had to learn to accept and give myself permission to even accept it and to think it and to have it and receive it. And even a lot of the times through my therapy, there were things that I was addressing and dealing with. And because it's not a way that I have thought in the past, the way of thinking felt wrong to me. It's like, ooh, am I considering myself too much? Am I on track here? Or is this off? Like, really, the way of thinking was didn't feel right when it came to myself, and I had to process a lot of that stuff with my therapist. Ooh, Dr. Guru, I love you, Dr. Guru. Hey, with your fly, bad, super fly self. Hey, I'm so grateful for Dr. Guru, and he know I ain't got no sense. Okay, so like I say, I'm always fully and unapologetically the magnificence of who I am, and I have learned to accept and embrace that and embody that and live fully and completely and authentically in the greatness that God intended me to be. And there's still things that I have to refine. There's still things I have to address. There's still growing that I'm doing. There's still expanding that I'm doing. There's still learning that I'm doing. It doesn't happen overnight. Yet it does take actionable and consistent efforts in order to make it happen for yourself. And I had to get to the point that, therapy, drawing closer to God was something that I needed in my life and for myself, to save my life. God saved me. God brought me Dr. Guru to assist me in healing my past, in addressing the traumas and the things that I've carried for so long and the stuff that was weighing me down. And it has been an absolute blessing and unlike anything that I've ever experienced. This level of freedom and liberation is not something that I have ever experienced, but I tell you the previous me and how I used to be, it's not a place and space that I'm ever going back to. Never, ever. Okay. And, I've been there. I've done that. And I've seen a quote that was really powerful because I didn't grow up in the church, and from a younger age, I had church trauma and church hurt. And that is really what, when I started trying to seek God in certain times in my life, I've had negative experiences in going into churches and the things that were said. And it really rubbed me the wrong way and made me, it didn't bring me closer to God. It distanced me from God because I felt the judgment, I felt the shame, I felt the guilt from the experience of the church. So it wasn't something that I sought after because of the church hurt and trauma that I have experienced in my life. And I seen a quote that was very powerful because I was talking to my El Salvadorian love because him and his family are believers. So we talk God often. And he always tells me how proud he is of me because he sees the growth. So does Dr. Guru. They see the growth and the change and the transformation that has been taking place. And I'm grateful for the people that I do have in my life and the people that God has blessed me with. My circle is almost non-existent because of the divine pruning. And the divine pruning was necessary because of my past. I was hanging on to things in hopes, hanging on to the hope and the dream and the expectation and the promises that people gave me in hopes to have the things that I gave reciprocated. However, it never was, unfortunately. Yet also, I wasn't treating myself the best. I wasn't loving myself or giving myself the best. So then when I think about it now, I had an unrealistic expectation of other people because I was thinking people were going to give me something and reciprocate the same things that I gave. Yet the things that I gave weren't even what I gave to myself. What? The things that I gave to others was not even the same things that I was giving to myself. So these last 2 years have been healing, have been truth, have been honesty, have been accountability, have been addressing so much of the shadows and the darkness that I've lived in my entire life. And I also had to learn self-love, self-care, self-compassion, to be kind, to be gentle, to be good to myself, to talk good to myself, to love on myself, and not to give and I say I give you guys permission to do it, because even when I was going through my struggles of wrapping my mind around certain things, Dr. Guru would say after every one of our visits, I give you permission. If you don't give yourself permission, I give you permission to do X, Y, and Z. And even if we don't give ourselves permission, if other people give us permission, it makes it a little bit easier in those moments until we are able to stand fully firm in our positioning and fully boldly in our posture and power and authority, and give ourselves permission for the things that we want and require and desire for ourselves. And trust me, baby, now I give myself permission for what I want to do, how I want to do it, when I want to do it, where I want to do it, and unapologetically. If you like it, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine too, because I no longer seek or need validation from people, so people's validation doesn't drive me. It doesn't sway me. It doesn't one way or the other. I'm grateful for it, yet it is not a key or determining factor in how I operate for myself or in the decisions that I make for myself. That is simply and only me and a God thing. Me and my God thing. Like I say, only one that can check me now is my God. Only one who I answer to now is my God. I feel like Sheree on The Housewife. Who gonna check me, boo? Yes, who gonna check me, boo? Nobody. Nobody at all but God, until I get my divine union. When my divine union come in my life, when that God ordained covenant shows up in my life, then of course that I'm gonna stay loving on me till my divine masculine energy in person show up, because I'm ready to be loved on. But until they show and make themselves present and appear and in my reality, I'm gonna stay loving on me and doing me. So I said all of that to say, be good to you. Make sure you're doing stuff that excites you and ignites you and makes you feel good, because know that you are worthy and deserving to have the things that you want, the experiences that you want, the desires of your heart. We only have one life. So make sure that you live it fully, completely, and authentically true to who you are. At the end of the day, we are all going to have a legacy. And what is it that you want people to remember about you? What is it that you want people to say about you? That you sacrificed yourself, that you gave of yourself, that you did this, but you didn't love yourself the best. You could have been better to yourself. You were there for everybody else. You spread yourself thin, but you didn't do the same things for yourself. That you showed up for other people, but you didn't show up for yourself. Is that how you want to be remembered? No. You want to have a legacy of excellence, not only being caring, giving, kind, compassion, loving, and showing up for yourself, family, community, friend, whoever it is in your life. You also want to give those same things to yourself. So what have you done for you, my beautiful people? What have you done for you? Look, no excuses, no justifications. I don't accept those from myself, so I sure the hell ain't going to accept them from you. Get it done, okay? It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be major. Just do something that puts a smile on your face, something that makes you feel good, something that taps into the childlike wonder, something that makes you be able to dream, fantasize, visualize, and something that, like I say, makes you feel warm inside. Something that, like I say, something that excites and ignites you, because you're more than worthy and deserving. So Make sure you are taking good care of yourselves. Make sure you are being good to yourselves. Make sure you are being kind and gentle with yourself. And at the end of the day, have some grace for yourself and learn to make you a priority. Work on making you a non-negotiable and know that you matter. You are more than worthy and deserving to have the things that you want, my beautiful people. Now go get them. Mwah.